Hey everyone, and thank you for joining me. As part of the Steam Winter Sale series, in this video, I'll be highlighting all the games with a historically low price. Grab your wallets and let's go! Let's kickstart the list with our first game, Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4 is a 2023 survivor horror game developed and published by Capcom. A remake of the 2005 game, it was released for almost all platforms except a Nintendo Switch. You play as the US agent Leon Kennedy, who must save the daughter of the United States President from a mysterious cult. The remake has an updated plot and improves the gameplay mechanics. It features over-the-shoulder third-person shooter gameplay, similar to the original, in addition to redesigned visuals to create a tenser atmosphere, along with new character designs and backgrounds. The player can now also move and use weapons at the same time, allowing you to evade attacks while firing and reloading while on the move. The player can also use melee attacks to injure enemies and push them away. A new parrying mechanic allows blocking, counter-attacking, and killing downed enemies with the knife. Puzzle solving is also a major requirement in order to reach certain areas. Resident Evil 4 received critical acclaim and was nominated for the Golden Joystick Award for Ultimate Game of the Year and the Game Award for Game of the Year. It sold 4 million units in its first 2 weeks, making it one of the fastest selling Resident Evil games. The game requires around 16 hours to complete. Katana Zero. Step into the thrilling world of Katana Zero, published by Devolver Digital and created by indie dev Justin Stander. This 2019 platformer plunges you into a dark, dystopian cityscape as you follow Subject Zero, an enigmatic assassin armed with a katana, navigating through a twisted tale of amnesia, time manipulation, and unraveling mysteries. Get ready for adrenaline-pumping, side-scrolling action as you slash through enemies, dodge attacks, and bend time itself. You'll uncover Zero's past while tackling assassin contracts. Engage in immersive story sequences where your choices shape the narrative, all set against a stunning neo-noir backdrop. The developer poured his heart into crafting this gripping experience since 2013, aiming for a game that's challenging yet doesn't make you wade through boring dialogues. The game draws inspiration from cinematic wonders like Sin City and John Wick. Katana Zero can be completed in around 5 hours. Critics raved about the gameplay, reminiscent of Hotline Miami, alongside its striking visuals, captivating story, and an electrifying synthwave soundtrack. While some debated the ending, Katana Zero stood tall as one of the top games of 2019, receiving nods from reviewers and fans alike. God of War. God of War is an action-adventure game created by Santa Monica Studio and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. Initially released for PlayStation 4 in April 2018 and later on Windows in January 2022, it's the 8th installment in the series, following 2010's God of War 3. Unlike past games rooted in Greek mythology, this one explores Norse mythology, centering on Kratos, a former Greek god of war, and his son Atreus, as they fulfill Atreus' mother's final wish. Along their journey, they face various challenges and foes in ancient Scandinavia. This installment notably introduces a magical battle axe for Kratos and an over-the-shoulder camera view. It received praise for its story, design, and gameplay, achieving commercial success and earning accolades including Game of the Year recognition. Additionally, it birthed related media like a novel, comic series, and a planned television adaptation. The game can be completed in around 20 hours. Persona 5 is a role-playing video game created by P Studio and published by Atlus. Set in contemporary Tokyo, the game follows Joker, a high school student dealing with false accusations of assault and probation. As the story unfolds over a school year, Joker and his peers discover a unique power, forming the Phantom Thieves of Hearts to venture into the metaverse, a supernatural realm, stealing malevolent intentions from adults' hearts. Combat involves battling shadows using manifestations of their psyches known as personas, mixed with role-playing and dungeon crawling elements. Regarded as one of the finest role-playing games, Persona 5 earned acclaim for its visuals, gameplay, storyline, and music. Its sales exceeded 7.2 million units by April 2023, establishing it as the Megami Tensei franchise's best-selling entry. The game requires over a whopping 100 hours to complete. Divinity Original Sin 2 is an RPG created and released by Larian Studios. It follows the success of Divinity Original Sin and is part of the Divinity series. Players take charge of Godwoken, wielders of source magic, in a battle against the destructive Voidwoken. The game involves tactical turn-based RPG fights from an overhead perspective, focusing on character growth, exploration, and NPC interactions that influence the story. It offers diverse ways to solve quests and can be played solo or with friends in a group of up to 4 players. Funded by a $2 million Kickstarter campaign, Divinity Original Sin 2 became a hit, selling over 1 million copies in 2 months. It's highly regarded for its writing, interactive storytelling, combat system, multiplayer, and music. The enhanced version, Divinity Original Sin 2 Definitive Edition, expanded the story and improved gameplay. The total time to complete the game is around 60 hours. On the musical side of video games, Trombone Champ, an original rhythm game by Holy Wow Studios, launched on September 15, 2022. It shares gameplay similarities with popular titles like Guitar Hero and Wii Music. Trombone Champ is at heart a rhythm game in which players use a virtual trombone to play along to various songs ranging from classical and public domain music to original tracks and remixes. Players move the mouse to change the pitch of the trombone and use either the mouse button or keyboard keys to play. Players earn points by successfully hitting notes as they slide across the screen, with more points earned by maintaining successive combos and filling a meter that activates Champ Fever when filled, earning even more points. This indie debut gained massive Steam popularity spurred by an internet meme. It received nominations for the British Academy Games Award for Debut Game and was also considered for Family Game of the Year at the 26th Annual DICE Awards. Psychonauts 2, a platform game developed by Double Fine and published by Xbox Game Studio, was announced at the Game Awards 2015 and launched on various platforms between August 2021 and May 2022. Psychonauts 2 is a third-person platform game where players control Rasputin, Raz, a 10-year-old runaway from a family of circus acrobats. Possessing formidable psychic abilities, Raz can enter the minds of others. As a recent graduate from the Psychonauts, a group of psychic spies, Raz employs his acrobatic skills to navigate the game's environments, running, jumping, climbing walls, and sliding on rails. However, due to a family curse, he cannot swim. Throughout the game, Raz develops a range of psychic powers including pyrokinesis, levitation, telekinesis, and more. Some powers from the original game make a comeback, and new abilities like mental connection allow Raz to link between floating points. Players can assign up to 4 powers at a time, easily swapping between them using a pop-up interface. The game can be completed in around 15 hours. It Takes Two is an adventure game focusing on cooperative play between 2 characters, Cody and May. The game mixes lots of different gameplay styles, and by a lot I mean at least 10 different mechanics, from puzzles to action sequences in a whimsical and colorful world. The game can only be played in co-op, both local and online, which is quite rare these days. What also makes it unique is how both players have different abilities and need to work together to progress. If you played and enjoyed the studio's previous game, A Way Out, then you can't skip this. The game received multiple Game of the Year awards, and for me personally, it is one of the most memorable co-op games ever, and I highly recommend it for all ages. The game can be completed in around 15 hours. The Stanley Parable is a narrative-driven video game crafted and scripted by two developers exploring themes like player choice, the connection between game creators and players, and the notion of destiny. In this game, players lead Stanley, a protagonist accompanied by the narration of British actor Kevin Brighting. As players progress, they encounter branching paths where they can either follow or challenge the narrator's instructions. Disobeying alters the story, offering different endings before resetting the game. Originally launched on July 31, 2011 as a free modification for Half-Life 2, the game was later developed using the Source engine. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe includes updated visuals and expands on the game's endings further, including additional routes, new environments, and alternate endings. It takes around 3 hours to complete the main story. Hogwarts Legacy, released in 2023, is a third-person action role-playing game developed by Avalanche Software and published by Warner Bros. Set a century before the events depicted in the Harry Potter series, you take on the role of a student at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, mastering a range of magical abilities and items. Teaming up with classmates and professors, you embark on a quest to uncover an ancient secret concealed within the magical realm. As you advance, your character learns spellcasting, potion brewing, and combat techniques, culminating in the development of a unique combat style. Progress is marked by earning experience points through combat, quests, and exploration, facilitating access to new spells, talents, and abilities. Establishing connections with in-game NPCs allow you to create friendships that turn into companions, offering additional quests and abilities. The game can be completed in around 25 hours. Mass Effect Legendary Edition bundles the main single-player content from the Mass Effect trilogy. Additionally, it incorporates nearly all original single-player DLC for each game, including items like promotional weapons, armors, and packs. These games belong to the action role-playing genre, with players assuming the role of Commander Shepard, an elite human soldier tasked with rallying the galactic community against the Reapers, a highly advanced race of synthetic organic starships. Throughout the trilogy, players encounter choices that can significantly impact the story, influencing various outcomes that carry forward across the games. All three titles were remastered for Legendary Edition, which includes updated textures, shaders, models, effects, and technical features. The games also run in sharper resolutions and at higher frames per second. The compilation allows players to start all three titles from a single menu. The whole franchise can be completed in around 60 hours. I personally played Mass Effect 1 and 2 a while ago and missed playing the third. This bundle definitely has me on the verge of revisiting the franchise. Without any doubt, the Mass Effect universe is one of the finest in video games. LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. In contrast to the typical LEGO game structure, where story progression is linear, players have the flexibility to initiate any of the three Skywalker Saga trilogies and complete them in any sequence they prefer. The game encompasses all 9 episodes of the Skywalker Saga, a substantial expansion from LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga, released in 2007 and only covered the initial 6 episodes. Each episode comprises 5 main story missions, making up a total of 45 levels, in contrast to the 6-level format in previous editions. In addition to these primary levels, there are brief pre-level interludes that advance the narrative but do not contain collectibles like mini-kits or true Jedi. Combat mechanics have been reworked. Lightsaber wielders now execute various combos with light attacks and heavy attacks. The game boasts an extensive roster of 380 playable characters, not limited solely to those associated with the 9 Skywalker Saga films. The game can be played in local co-op and offers around 20 hours of gameplay time. Dead Space is a 2023 survival horror game developed by Motive Studio and published by Electronic Arts, a remake of the 2008 game of the same name. The game is primarily for those interested in intense, atmospheric, and psychologically chilling experiences. Dead Space's remake brings several alterations compared to the original game. In contrast to the silent protagonist in the original, Isaac now has his own voice lines, participating in revamped conversations and interactions with other characters. This change allows for Isaac to engage, argue, and build connections with the game's cast. The remake introduces heightened gore, including a peeling system, enabling players to tear apart necromorph bodies. Weapons are designed for limb severing or complete body destruction, offering diverse combat approaches. Additionally, the remake enhances the zero-gravity sections by granting Isaac thrusters for fluid movement across specific areas of the Ishimura. While featuring all the same suits and weapons from the original game, weapons can now be acquired by simply progressing through the story and do not need to be purchased at the suit kiosk using blueprints. Dead Space received generally positive reviews from critics, with general praise for its improved graphics, sound design, and improvements to the original. The game can be completed in around 12 hours. Monster Hunter World is a third-person action RPG primarily targeted at gamers who enjoy action-packed role-playing games with a focus on exploration, combat, and cooperative play. It appeals to those interested in challenging gameplay mechanics, the thrill of hunting formidable monsters, and the rewarding progression of crafting gear and improving character abilities. The game caters to players seeking a cooperative multiplayer experience and those fascinated by the strategic elements of combat, resource management, and exploration in a visually stunning, expansive world. The game has over 14 weapon categories like long swords, bows, or hammers, each dictating unique combat moves and abilities. Armor pieces, when matched strategically, offer advantageous or detrimental combat skills. While basic gear can be bought using in-game currency, most equipment is crafted from loot obtained by defeating monsters, completing quests, or gathering items in the field. This creates a gameplay loop where players battle creatures within their capability to obtain the necessary loot for crafting improved gear. This, in turn, allows them to confront stronger monsters and access even better equipment. The game completion time is around 50 hours. Nier Automata is an action RPG game set in a futuristic world with robots and androids. Combat employs a real-time hack-and-slash system incorporating both light and heavy attacks that can be combined into various attack sequences. Players can evade incoming assaults, gaining brief invulnerability or counter-attack opportunities through well-timed maneuvers. The game's visuals are a mix of beautiful landscapes and eerie desolate settings with a mix of 3D and 2D perspectives. What makes it special is its emotional story about identity and humanity and asks deep questions about the meaning of life and death. It's similar to games like Bayonetta or Devil May Cry, and there are different endings based on choices. The game can be completed in around 25 to 30 hours. Other honorable mentions include Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection, which is a fantastic action-adventure game with support for super sharp 4K resolutions and ultra-wide monitor support. Also, Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 Deluxe Edition, which is a third-person shooter based on the Plants vs. Zombies universe. Please let me know if you found a cool game from the list. I highly appreciate a quick thumbs up and a subscription to stay informed about my future releases. All mentioned games can be found in the description below. Again, always remember to check your Epic account in case you already own the game. Also, Epic is giving away a new game every day, so please make sure you grab them and become the greatest collector of video games. As always, see you in the next one.